thing is. All right, everyone. Looks like we've got a small group tonight. Had quite a few people sign up, but when we are doing this type of work, you don't have to be on, so a lot of people are just going to be doing it in absentia. So what we're doing tonight is part of our visionary acupressure that we have taught for quite some years, and it's taking traditional acupressure points, and we created our own system. So normally when you're working with acupressure, you would have what's called a proximal and distal point. So meaning you have a point up here at the shoulder, but then you could have, you stay there, that's your proximal point, and then you'd have multiple points down the arm that you would go to relax that arm. With visionary acupressure, what we do is we go into a point and allow the energy to radiate out, kind of like dropping pebbles into water. And they radiate out, and the overlapping energy as they're radiating out from different places, that is what creates the release. So it's our own process. We've been using it for, well over 15 years, probably close to 20 years. And tonight we're going to be working with some points to relax the neck and shoulders, see how many we can get relaxed and how much tension or pain we can get out of there. And then we're going to follow that up with the facial muscles. So again, taking some of the stress and tension out of the face. And the way this works, I'll do one side of the body. So let's say I'm working on the left side of the body. Usually there is a distinct difference in what is felt in the left side. The left side will just totally relax. And then people would be saying, what about the right side? And then we do the right side and it relaxes. We do a little energy work to balance it all out. And then we'll see if we can't get some comments from a few of you. So I will be using our Net-Neutral Ionic Acu-Wand. Again, this is something that we created on our own. It has multiple frequencies in it. So what we've done is we put frequencies to stimulate and balance all of the meridians, to balance the endocrine glands as well as the chakras. It releases excess hydrogen bonding, so chemicals and toxins in the body and tissue can release. But also if you go directly into muscles with this, it will relax the muscle. So if I'm holding it into just my shoulder, the energy coming from the tip here will actually go in and start to ripple through the muscles and relax that area. If I am using what we call the back end or the blunt end of it, if someone has a concussion, I can go to that area of the head, pull it off the head about 1.5 inches, and it will pull a concussion right out of the head. It doesn't matter how long that concussive energy has been there. It's the same if someone has had whiplash and they've got some continuing pain and trauma in their spine. We go to that spot in the spine, pull it off about 1.5 inches, and you can just literally feel the pull of the energy as that trauma is released, and then the back releases. It's a quick way to get someone out of pain. So this is the first time I'm demonstrating this distantly on a group of people. I've done it many times at the office. And just going to give you a quick view here. Let's see. Those are some of the points that we're working with for the neck and shoulders. So I'll stimulate the point on the chart, and I'll send the energy to all of you as I'm doing the points. And this way I can work with everyone collectively at the same time. All right. So we're going to start with point 23, which is bladder 10. And that's about the middle of the right side of the neck. I'm sending that energy there now. So just give a little nod if you can feel that energy coming into your neck. Good. As with any acupressure, it's always about time, how much time to spend at a point before you move on to the next point. All right, the next point is gallbladder 20, which is point on our chart, point 24. It's right underneath the occipital area on the right. Next is point 22, which is also gallbladder 21. It's out in the trapezius, so it's out in the belly of the trapezius muscle between the neck and the shoulder. Next is point 38. It's also called bladder 38. It's on the medial edge of that right shoulder blade. Next is point 60, which is governing vessel 15. And if you go to the base of the skull and go up onto the that lower edge of the occiput, it's right there, dead center. Next point is point 50, which is the between the spinous processes of cervical fourth and fifth vertebrae. All right, and that concludes the right side of the body. So those of you that have your cameras on and want to give us a nod if you can feel the difference in between the right and left side. Okay, good. Yeah, that right side should be a little more relaxed. Now we'll begin the left side. Same series of numbers, just on the opposite side. So start with number 23, bladder 10. Now point 24, which is gallbladder 20. It's at the base of the skull, just a little bit lateral to the spinous process. Now we go to point 22, which is gallbladder 21, out in the belly of the trapezius. Go to 38, which is also bladder 38, medial edge of the scapula. Next is point 60, governing vessel 15 at the center of the base of the skull, about a ½ inch above the atlas, or C1. And the last point, 50, which is between C4 and 5, governing vessel line. It's between the spinous processes of C4 and 5. All right, so I'm done with the points, and now what I'm doing is I'm going to move that energy around. Some of you could probably feel some of those ripples going out as I went to each point, feel them overlapping. All right, everyone move your neck and shoulders a little bit. See if that's a little looser. And we've got a minute or so for some feedback before we start the next series of points. If someone has something to put in the chat.
My neck, I feel looser.
Oh, good, good. Yeah, sometimes we're working on the neck, but you feel looser other places as well because tension can be pulling farther down the back, doing other things.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Oh, no, thank you.
All right, anyone else?
I feel warmth.
Okay, sometimes that warmth is just the increase in circulation into an area that, was tight. All right, so we don't seem to have too chatty a bunch here tonight, so we'll move on to the next points. I think everyone just wants to feel better, get this thing done. All right. So from our booklet that goes with our Acu-Wand, the next thing will be the relaxing facial muscles. So it's kind of like a mini facial to relax the cheeks, the brows, and things of that nature. So we still do one side at a time, even though some of the points are actually on the opposite side. So sometimes you have to relax something on the left side in order to get the right side to cooperate. So again, we will start on the right with point 52, which is bladder point 2. That is kind of the inside edge of the eyebrow. Next, we go to point 10, which is stomach 3, directly below the cheekbone. So right in there where you would press if you feel like your sinuses are a little congested, it's right under that cheekbone. Next is point 11, which is gallbladder 14. It's about a ½ inch above the eyebrow on a vertical line with your pupil. So it's just going straight up from there. Next is point 41, which is on the governing vessel line. This is midway between the eyebrows and about an inch above the bridge of the nose. Next is point 42, governing vessel 26. So it's right there at the center of your top lip, right where the nose meets the lip. Point 9 is kidney 27. And this is down underneath your collarbone. It's about 3 inches from the center of your sternum. All right, now we do the left side. Start again with point 52, which is bladder 2. And that is that little depression at the medial corner of the eyebrow. Next is point 10, which is right there on the cheekbone. Next is point 11, also gallbladder 14, which is about a half an inch above the center of your, well, above the eyebrow, but on a center line with your pupil. So going right dead center of your eye and going straight up. Then we go to point 41, which is governing vessel line. It's between the eyebrows and about an inch above the bridge of the nose. Next is point 42, governing vessel 26. This is the one where the nose meets the lip, right there on your top lip. And our next and last point is point 9, which is down underneath your collarbone, about 3 inches from the center of your sternum. And since that was the last point, now just balance the energy there in the face. All right, and with that, we are all done. So what did you notice going on there in the in your face, as far as could you feel some of those areas loosen a little bit, tighten a little bit, whatever was needed? Let's see, can the wand be used with the original EOL acupressure series? Yes, it can. Do we just point the wand at the points? Actually hold the wands on the points, but depending on your level of capacity to work with energy, you may or may not be able to do it. So we will be teaching a class on it at some point next year. Okay, things feel really nice. Really felt it. Third eye zone. Wow, this was impressive. Okay, and how much could you actually feel going on when it was actually happening? Could you feel as I went to those points, especially in the face?
I could feel like a tingling and also heat, like my face, my face feels heat.
Okay, so some of this is still going to be continuing because as we have stimulated these points, if you think of frown lines and crow's feet and things of that nature, those muscles get tight and they hold that shape, and that's why we have those lines. So some of you may find some of those lines softening even a day or two out from now.
Oh, interesting.
Okay.
I could feel some points more than others. Like some it was real strong and others I didn't feel as much.
Right, and that's going to vary person to person, session to session. There's times when if you've got more stuck energy there, would be my first assumption that you would feel more. Let's see, a lot more heat at other points, okay, especially the shoulders. Had the impulse to itch the spots. Yes, that's especially on the nose. Among other things, got a big burst of energy with the low air pressure. I've been groggy all day, but this brightened me up. Good. Unexpected benefits.
Mhm. Well, thank you.
All right. Well, what I'd like for you to do is, send us wait a day or two, send an email of what's going on with your neck and shoulders, what's going on, what you've noticed in the mirror tomorrow. Because like I said, some of you may wake up and be 10 years younger.
Yahoo!
So one of the things I read some time ago said if you have people focus on, let's say, a picture of themselves 15 years younger, and you do the energy work, so whether it be the acupressure or something else, that you can actually take the person's facial features and things back as much as 15 years. It's harder to go beyond that, and I don't know if any of us want to look like we did when we were 18. Because if the face is the only thing that looks 18, you know, we might want to think that one through. All right. So this is recorded, so it will be on the YouTube channel. And when it's on the YouTube channel, I mean, if you share this with someone, they will receive the same benefit. So the energy work is not just me doing it live, it will come through on the recording. So please share it. Okay. And balancing energy for yourselves. Well, again, that is, well, there's multiple ways of doing that, whether it's, you know, like Reiki and hands on your own body, or doing something with an Acu-Wand. With the Acu-Wand, it's a lot harder because there are some points on your back and things like that that you cannot reach. But we will be talking about that in some upcoming things. And like I said, we are planning to try and teach this at some point next year. All right.
So Aaron, if we listen to the YouTube recording, is it good for us to like do it multiple times to continue to get release?
Sure.
Oh.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you again.
Aaron.
We may get to go back 15 years after all. All right. Thank you for spending your time with me. You guys have a good evening.
Thank you, Aaron.
Thanks, you too. Bye-bye.
All right.